People think I'm the big bait guy. I've caught more fish on a floating fly my entire life than I've ever had with the swim bait. I just don't show a lot of people how I do it. Man, one of my favorite technique is doing the floating fly. We're gonna put on the 1/8 ounce, just the gray ghost with a, this is the 1/8 ounce, and we're gonna use the 1-inch pear-shaped bobber. Paired it up today since the water's so clear and it's such a tough bite. I went with 6-pound test Maxima fluorocarbon. One of my favorite rods is the Lamiglass Rogue River Special for this technique. I use this a lot in split shotting and just, you know, throwing the 2.5 a single, but for the floating fly, this is a great setup. Paired it up with the Shimano Stratic 2500. And like I said, if I don't use fluorocarbon, I'll drop it down to 5-pound test Maxima Ultra Green, and you're ready to go for pretty much any species, from crappie to big bass. Come on, big old smallie. Or trout, or striper, or catfish. If the water was colder, this right now, we're still a good month or two off for this bite to really excel. Water temperatures in the 50 degrees, this thing rocks and rolls. On a warming trend, 55 degrees to 60, when they start staging, this thing excels. And during the summertime, when you have the first big rush of small shad and stuff, bluegill, baby bass after the spawn, you know, over grass flats and in the brush and stuff, this thing, it works year round, but we're right in that really touchy season where the bite's tough, man. You have to be, you know, pretty much on your game to get these fish to commit. And I got a bait down there amongst billions of shads, so. Oh, dude, right there, did you see that bobber go down? Let's see what, right there, I turn around and see, oh, dude, is that a big smallie? What is that? Right there underneath the boat, you turn around and all of a sudden the bobber was just sinking. Look at this smallie, dude. I'm telling you what, you don't think that you can catch decent fish on a floating fly. We just started this. It's been only about a minute and a half. The first cast, I sit there, I throw it out. Look at this smallie. Look at that beautiful smallie on a floating fly. The hardest part on this is now, this is why I use a long rod, is I got a bobber up there, so I got to have some long stretch to pull this off. Look at this thing. I tell you what, man, we got a hat trick today. We got a nice striper, we got a nice largemouth. Now, we didn't catch it on the 2.5, but we caught it on another just absolutely phenomenal bait. Come here, sweetie. That's the hardest part in this is, come here. Don't you get off, you. Oh, look at that. Fat fly. Spro Phat Fly on the BBZ Spro. That's a cool little smallmouth right there. And I'm telling you what, I mean, this is a killer technique. We're at Diamond Valley. We can't weigh these fish in, but I've caught fish like this at Pyramid, Kachuma. I've caught monster fish. I've caught monster largemouth on it. Any lake that has any quality bass that eats a small shad could put fish in the boat. And that's with the bobber. You could take this same thing without a bobber and go out there in 60 foot of water and catch them. I mean, here's how crazy it is. That little doll hair jig right there, that little bait is just like what they're eating. Let's see if we can catch one. I want to see if we can get one of the, you know, shots where you can actually see the bobber go down. That's the exciting part. It's as fun as watching topwater. That thing's as long as my forearm right there. Look at that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Guys are struggling right now. There's so many boats out there trying to get these fish to hit. They've all gone down. And we sneak in here and we're catching them on a floating fly. I shouldn't show anybody because I've won actually tournaments doing this here, so. The way you fish shadows, I don't know if you guys are delta rats or know anything about titles. You could fish shadows the same as tides, and I call them shadow tides. Incoming shadows, incoming tides are better than outgoing because it pinches fish into the funnel